Nick's had an amazing 2 years. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to talk about, but he's obviously a silhouette model. Just at sunset. And if you came to YesStories, he will have been the first person that you saw because he was skipping around in a neon vest, sending people into the car park. Nick Kershaw, everybody.
I've had a last-minute change of heart, and I rewrote my speech over the course of the last couple of speeches because I think Dave was quite keen for me to talk a little bit about what's happened for the last 2.5 years since I first met him, and since everything changed that weekend. We went to talk with Dave, and then myself, Henry Blanchard, who I started the Uganda Marathon with, Tim, who had the farm that YesStories was on, another guy, JP, who swam from Robben Island to Cape Town a couple of months later. It kind of changed all of our lives, and we did the 3-week challenge on the back of like, 1 week we allowed ourselves 1 hour preparation, we didn't have a designated driver, we did it the wrong way, and it was a really amazing weekend, and from then everything's kind of changed. I now run this company, Impact Marathon Series. If you want to talk about it, come to the Adventure Travel Show where Dave's hosting the auditorium and stuff, and we've got a stall there, and we've got races in Nepal, Guatemala, Colombia, and Malawi. That's a new one. So I've had an amazing year, and on the face of it, and on social media, I've had a really, really good year. I've looked back on 2015, and I've been an amazing ski weekend. I summited Mount Tukau, looked over Atlas Mountains and the sunrise. I did the worm in front of 60,000 North Koreans, and now blacklisted from North Korea for doing the worm in front of 60,000 North Koreans. And we had 1,000 people at the finishing line of the Uganda Marathon. It's the first ever Uganda International Marathon. And it's been amazing, but actually, it's really not. Actually, it's been the toughest, most painful and most challenging year of my life. And social media is a wonderful thing like that. So for me, 2015, when I look back on it, it isn't about those events at all, which it should be, but it's not. It's about some really painful things that happened in my life. And that's, for me, what's happened with the Say Yes More philosophy. And it's changed a little bit from the yes list and the challenges that we want to put in our way, and the kind of list that's happening we don't know about. The list that hits you on an idle Tuesday afternoon. And for me, there was 3 or 4 months in the middle there when I was written off work and I was struggling to cope with what was going on in my life, and I didn't know what the next day was going to bring, and every morning I'd wake up and I'd be counting down the hours till it's acceptable, socially acceptable, to go to bed again, because it was really horrible, and I didn't know really what was going to happen at that time. And I think that's the funny thing, is that we all stand up and we talk about our motivations, and there's all the motivations we're happy to talk about and share, and they're quite cool, and some are negative, and bad events in your life, some of the really positive goals and dreams you've got coming up. And actually the most important, the most interesting ones are the ones you're not saying, because there's a heck of a lot I'm not saying, and there's a heck of a lot all of us aren't saying. And those are the silent motivations that really power us through the final mile of the marathon, or really pick us up during those really challenging times. And those are the motivations that when we put a room of, I don't know how many, like 80, 90 people together, those motivations, when they collide, they don't just get a bit bigger, they get massively bigger. And they become an exponential power that's a really exciting force for what we're trying to achieve here, what Dave's kind of started up with Yes Tribe, what Escape the City are doing, what Danny Bent's doing, Project Awesome, and all these amazing things that are happening are all coming from, are actually from our silent motivations and the power that they have. And they're not coming from what we kind of say. So there's always going to be like really bad days. There's always going to be the crap things that hit you. Whether it's your girlfriend leaving you, whether it's someone close to you dying, whether it's whatever it is you're going through, and I know there's a lot of people in here going through a lot of crap. And those are the days where Say Yes More isn't about the next adventure, it's not about the next thing we tick off the yes list, but it's actually about listening to that really, really small voice that says you're going to get through this, and not only are you going to get through it, you're going to be amazing because of it. IMS came through some of the hardest days of my life. That's in the Marathon Series. It came about because of that. And it's a really quiet voice at times when the maelstrom and the storm is happening in your head of negative shit and it's really bad, and you can't hear that voice that's saying it's going to be alright, guys. And it's a really persistent voice though, and at some point you're going to hear it. And so for me, this year, and what the beauty of this whole community is that's happening right now is yeah, we're going to celebrate each other's successes and adventures, but actually when you're walking like through the valley of the shadow of death, there we go. When you're walking through that valley, actually when you look to the sides, you're walking with other people, and they're walking with you and they're walking for you. And I found that with DC, I found that with Danny, with Timmy. These guys were walking right beside me, fighting for me and helping me get from the valley to the mountaintop. And the Yes Tribe and what we're trying to do and saying yes more, what it means to me isn't what's the next adventure, because there's some really cool shit coming up this year. It's not about that. It's actually about how well I'm prepared for the next time when things really hurt and I'm not ready, and the tribe I have around me, the guys I have helping me through that. So a slightly different talk to what I was going to give, but that's kind of how I felt listening tonight, and it's just about we're walking all with you, and you right now you're enough already. Before you came in tonight, you're enough. When you're going to leave tonight, you're still enough. You're no better, you're no worse, and you never will be. So that gives you complete freedom. Because who the fuck cares if you go out there and be unashamedly yourself? Because what's the worst case scenario? Well, you're going to be down in the valley, but we're all still with you, walking with you. So you've got nothing left to lose. So that's say yes.